Okay, so this is the beginning of Chapter 7, and we're looking at 7-1 Systems of Linear Equations into Variables. Now there's three different ways we can solve systems of equations. We can graph them and see where they intersect. We can use the substitution method, or we can use the addition and elimination method. Some books call it addition method, but most books call it the elimination method. Now, if we have two lines that intersect like the ones we see here, they have one point in common, they intersect at that point. Those are consistent and independent equations. These are intersecting lines, they have exactly one solution. If you solve it algebraically, you're going to get a value x, y, or a coordinate. You'll be able to solve for x and y here. Now, the next one, we have a single line here. And then graphing the second equation, we realize that they're the exact same line. They lie on top of each other. So these are consistent and dependent. They are the same lines. They have infinitely many solutions, infinitely many points in common. And when you solve these equations algebraically, you're going to get a number where without any variables, where we have 6 equals 6, or 0 equals 0, or 5 equals 5, something like that. Now, in the third situation, these are inconsistent lines. They're parallel. They have no solutions. So these two lines have 0 points of intersection. They have the same slope, but different y-intercepts. Again, there's no solution, so there's no points in common. And when you try to solve the system of equations, you're going to get something like 5 equals 11, or 0 equals -3, or something like that, where both sides have no variables and it's an untrue or false statement. Now, moving on to some examples here. Let's go ahead and solve a few of these problems. So the first one says solve by substitution. So we're given that x is equal to this and x is equal to this. Well, if those are equal, we can set them equal to each other. And then we can solve. And we got our y value, and now we want to find our x value. I can plug into either one of these equations. I'll plug into the second one. And we end up with, let's see, x equals -17. So our answer then is -17, -8. We want to write our answers as a coordinate. Let's look in the next example here. Now it says to solve using the addition method. Now unfortunately I don't have any of these numbers that are the same. What I can do here is I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by -2, and I'm going to multiply the top equation by 5. And that'll give me 10x plus 15y equals -80. And then I'll have -10x plus 20y equals -60. I have 35y, my x's cancel, equals -140. And dividing y gives me -4. Now I can plug that in and find my x value. I'm going to use the top equation. So we have 2x plus 3 times -4 equals -16. So 2x, adding 12 to both sides gives me -4. So x equals -2. So using these two values, I have -2, -4. Okay. Moving on to the next examples, it says solve using any method and then determine the number of solutions. Well, this one's set up for substitution, so I'm going to go ahead and use substitution. I can plug this in for my y value. So 2x plus 2, 3x plus 4 equals -8. And we have 8x equals negative 16, so x equals negative 2. Plugging in, we can find y. Y equals 3 times negative 2 plus 4. So we have negative 2, negative 2. And it said determine the number of solutions. Well, we have one solution. Okay. And part B, we can go ahead and use whatever method we like. I'm going to go ahead and solve for y and use substitution. So y is equal to negative x plus 3. So 3x plus 3 times negative x plus 3 equals 15. And 3x minus 3x plus 9 equals 15. Those cancel. 9 equals 15. Well, that's a false statement. So that would be no solution. And then down to our third example here. We have set up for substitution. So again, I'm going to use substitution. 6x minus 2 times 3x plus 2 plus 4 equals 0. 6x minus 6x minus 4 plus 4 equals 0. The 4's cancel, the 6's cancel, and we get 0 equals 0. That is a true statement. So that means we have infinitely many solutions. And they follow the equation y equals 3x plus 2. Okay. All right, and let's go ahead and move on to the next page. Now we're going to work through some word problems, and these are going to take a little while longer, so I'm going to go ahead and stop us here, and we'll do these in the part 2 video.